Hey Yogi, welcome to your class. Today's class is an intermediate level class which is really focused on the hamstrings and quite a bit of hips sprinkled into the mix. It's a fluid, fun and invigorating class I'm sure you're going to enjoy. I'll meet you on the mat. And just arriving onto our back, we'll start with our legs up. So I want you to imagine you've got your legs up a wall here. So legs nice and long, heels up, toes down. And then we're just going to start to take a couple of breaths to settle in. If this is too much right away, you can have a little bend in your knees and you can also support the backs of the legs with the hands. And just take a few moments just to land, just to drop on in. Beginning to deepen your awareness by consciously controlling the breath. Consciously controlling the rhythm of the inhale and the exhale as it enters in and out your body. And from here, keep the right leg high. As you exhale, I want you to lower your left leg down, but see if you can hover it just above the mat. So maybe it drops or maybe it hovers. And then inhale, left leg goes up. And then exhale, right heel hovers. Inhale, lift up, use that core. Exhale, left side. Breathe in. Exhale, right. Inhale, right leg lifts. And as you exhale, left leg all the way to the mat. And we're going to grab a hold of the back of our right leg. And we'll either grab a hold of the hamstring, the calf, the ankle, or the foot for the deepest expression. So we're going to take about 5 breaths just to find that nice long stretch through the back of the hamstring and the calf and the foot. And I don't want you to worry about getting 100% right away. We're still really early on. We're taking our time to ease on into the class. Each time you take a breath in, can you kick your left heel forwards, point your left toes and left kneecap skywards. And as you exhale, can you guide that right leg a teeny little bit closer to the face, just taking about 2 more breaths here. Fully appreciate and use your Ujjayi, so in and out the nose, little engagement of those muscles at the back of the throat. Lovely. Rebend into your right knee. We'll bring the right hand onto the right knee and the left hand now to the left hip. And as you take your next breath in, I want you to open your right knee out wide to the side. Just taking 3 breaths. Keep a little flex in your right toes. Keep the chest wide so breath flows all the way out through the toes. And as you inhale, guide your right knee back in. Close that off. We're just going to stretch right leg to the sky again. This time, give your toes a little wiggle, give your ankle a little wiggle, and then the other direction. And pause for a cause. Slide the left heel under the left knee. And now we're going to come and cross right ankle below the left knee. And at first, I want you to flex into the right foot and press the right knee and the right thigh away just to wake up your right hip. And if you want a little bit more, see if you can lift the left foot, maybe start to interlace and grab a hold of the back of either your left hamstring or the shin for a little bit more. And then what I want you to do here is make sure that your back is flat on the mat. So shoulders root down, lower back and belly button presses, anchors into the earth. And then maybe just soften down the eyes. So as we remove and release ourselves from that visual stimuli, it helps us to move inwards, to really connect to ourselves, to the pose. Wonderful. And let that go. Both legs stretch to the sky, toes up, heels down. Keep your left leg high as you breathe in. This time I want you to lower the right leg. So maybe the heel hovers or it drops. And then inhale, right leg up. And then exhale, left leg down. We're just alternating the legs, using our abs, waking them up. Breathe in, right leg. All the way back up. And other sides. Nice. Keep the left leg high as you exhale. This time right leg goes all the way down to your mat. You can let it drop. And then hands support the back of the hamstring. Maybe the calf or the foot for a deeper expression. 5 breaths. Ensure you're not straining. So make sure the shoulders are pressed down. The face and the jaw are relaxed. So always finding that balance between our effort and our ease. Which parts of the body do not need our effort and where can we back off? Where can we soften? Just using these opening moments maybe to set an intention, set a focus. And slowly bend back into your left knee. Bring your left hand to your left knee and your right hand to your right hip. And then open the left knee out wide to the left side of your space. Little flex in the toes, just 3 breaths. And inhale, close that off. Left knee in line with hip. Arms can relax. Left leg goes skywards. Little flex of the toes. Give them a wiggle. Give your ankle a wiggle. All the direction. Nice. Find stillness. Bend your right knee and slide your right heel under your right knee. And then cross left ankle below right knee. Flex into the left toes. Press the left knee away from the face. Options to start to lift the right foot for a little bit more sensation as we draw the thighs in. Grip a hold of the hamstring or the shin. So shoulders slide down the back, belly button roots. Couple more breaths. And let that go. Both knees in, breathe in, give them a squeeze, little wiggle with your hips. And then we'll start to rock up into a seat. Maybe take about 1 or 2 rocks to come up. Keep your spine rounded and your chin in. And then eventually swinging those legs around, coming into our little tabletop position. Spread the fingers nice and wide, curl the toes from underneath you, and then begin to just glide and body on your way back into Adho Mukha, so down dog. Stretch out through your hips, reach forwards with your hands, pedal into the heels. Let's just massage into the legs, so really a leg focused flow, so making sure we're fully warming them up before we start to move. And then gently just drop your hip one side to the other and just have a little gaze under your armpit. Send the gaze towards the top, lift high up on the balls of the feet to the tippy toes, and then walk feet towards the hands. And from here, separate the feet. Hello, Mr. Vito. Bend the knees, grab a hold of opposite elbow or opposite forearm with opposite hands. Take a big breath through the nose and a big sigh out the mouth. And then give yourself a nice big rock, up and down. Nice big rock, side to side. And then let the hands just drop, breathe out. Keep the knees bent, round to come up all the way through to standing posture. The chin lifts and the shoulders roll down and away from the ears. Take a big breath out. Take an inhale breath, arms reach skywards, palms connect. And then exhale, fold down, Uttanasana, all the way to the mat. Halfway lift, look forwards, breathe in. And exhale, fold down. And from here, I want you to bend your knees enough that your ribs start to touch your thighs. So the belly can just rest on the thighs. And we're keeping a nice long spine. And if you can, start to slot your hands one and then the other just underneath your toes. So the big toes kind of rest at the heels of the palms. If this feels good, I want you to stay right here. If you want a little bit more, start to kick into the heels, straighten out your legs. Breathe in, lengthen as you look forwards. And if you want even more, as you exhale, bend your elbows out to the side and draw your head towards the mat. So again, ribs, try and bring them closer towards the thighs. Don't worry if it doesn't want to happen. Just go to where the body allows you to go. And slowly release one hand and then the other. Okay, inhale, arms up, reach, reach, reach. Squeeze your bum cheeks at the top. And exhale, hands to the heart, relax your shoulders down. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, fold, Uttanasana again. Halfway lift to lengthen, breathe in. And step back into plank pose, 1 foot at a time. As you take your next exhale, look forward, shift forward, bend your elbows. Inhale, come up to cobra or up dog. Exhale to downward dog. 5 breaths just to take us through a nice sun edge, familiar movements. Hug the arms in, spread your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Look towards the hands. Lift high up onto the tippy toes. Bend your knees. Options to step or maybe take a little jump forwards. Exhale. Halfway lengthen. Breathe in. Exhale. Uttanasana, fold. Inhale. Upahastasana. Use your core to bring you up. And then exhale, hands to heart. Relax your shoulders down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Root down through the right foot, lift up through the left kneecap, a little bit of a balance. Breathe in here. As you exhale, we're going to come into warrior 3. So chest forwards, left leg back. If you feel wobbly, you can bring your hands down or on blocks. Take another inhale. Can you stretch out through the heel? Get longer through the crown. And as you exhale, spread your right toes, drop your left kneecap towards the mat. Untuck the back toes, lunge into the right knee. Take your arms up. Options to interlace the fingers here, chin lifts, gaze to thumbs. As you exhale, let the hips settle. Take an inhale, draw your belly in, hug your inner thighs. And then exhale, let the hips descend a little bit more. Take one more breath. As you exhale, hands down, frame the right foot. Take an inhale, draw your shoulders back. And as you exhale, pull your hips back. So if you're at a point in your half splits where you feel like you're really round and you're really struggling to reach the mat, then go ahead and grab some books or some blocks. They can come in nice and handy. And then from here, lunge back into the right knee, shoulders back, breathe in. And then exhale, hips back, toes to sky. Inhale, lunge forwards. And as you exhale, hips back, fold, big toe up. Take a halfway lift to lengthen, draw your heart forwards. And then as you exhale, fold. Take 2 more breaths here. As you breathe in, root down through the heel, lift up through the chest. As you breathe out, lunge into the right knee. As you inhale, arms reach skywards. And this time as you exhale, right hand drops. Okay, take an inhale, lift up through the left side. And as you exhale, sway over to the right. So maybe this right hand starts to kind of float, or maybe fingers can touch the mat, or again, using that block. Take another inhale, lift up a little bit higher. And then exhale, as you press your hips forward, flare out the left ribs. Take one more breath. Then use your exhale to straighten through the right leg, both hands to the right side of the leg. If you want more sensation, walk the fingertips out further. Make sure the right big toe doesn't flop out. Hug the inner thigh in, big toe directly skywards. Options to stay right here, options to take a twist. Left hand down, right arm lifts. Open your chest towards the back of your space. Take a big breath. As you exhale, right hand lowers to the mat. Looking forwards, lunging back into the right knee. So take an inhale breath here. Curl your left toes, lift your left kneecap. Step your fingertips as wide as the mat. And then as you exhale, pull all the weight through the right foot. Take the left toes to the sky and the head towards the mat. So remember, we're still quite early on. Don't worry if you're not in a deep standing split. So you can grab your ankle for a little bit more depth. Take your time, stretch out through the left toes. One more inhale. And slowly walk your hands forward about 1 step. Flex the left toes. As you exhale, bend your right knee and drop your left toes down. Walk your hands back to frame your right foot. Have your left hand rooted inside your right toes. And as you inhale, reach up to find a twist towards the right. Lift the left hip in line with the right and charge back through the left heel. And then from here, as we exhale, we're going to turn all 10 toes out to the right. So on the outside of both of our feet. If your hips are screaming, if it's too much, wiggle this right foot along the mat. And I'm going to make this deeper in the IT band. So as we exhale, hips settles. Remember, you can always wiggle that right foot back. And as you inhale, big push through the outside of both your feet. Take your right arm directly over your ear. And then exhale, left hip down. Gaze goes back. Breathe in. And again, exhale, left hip down, gaze goes back. Stay here. On the next breath, sweep your right hand across the horizon. Pivot all 10 toes. And then bend into the left knee and sink into Skandasana. Maybe a little higher than this. If this doesn't feel good, lift your chest and come up a bit. Take a full inhale breath. And a full exhale. Options to use hands or no hands, moving into wide leg forward fold. Turn all 10 toes to point in. Bring the hands to the mat or the shins. Lift up through the back of the body. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, fall down in the center of the legs. Interlace your fingers behind your lower back. Squeeze the shoulders in together. Take an in-breath. And as you exhale, head down. Knuckles drive forwards. Okay, just breathing into the back of the legs. Spiral the inner thighs. One more breath. Exhale. Root down for your feet. Little teeny bend in your knees. Draw yourself all the way up through to stand on the breath. Flip the toes out and draw the heels in. And as you exhale, I want you to bend into your knees and sink through the hips. Tuck the tail underneath if you feel like the bum's poking out. Draw the knuckles back. Feel the chest open a little more. Sink down into goddess. Full breath. Exhale. Big push into the feet. Squeeze the bum cheeks at the top on the in-breath. Turn the left toes in and send the right toes forwards. And as you exhale, push off the ball of the left foot. If the feet feel too far apart, step the left foot in a little. Breathe in, take your knuckles back behind you, and then breathe out, come down into modified pyramid. You determine the intensity by how deep down you go into the stretch. Maybe see if you can find a bit of a shoulder stretch at the same time. One more breath. And exhale. Lower your hands towards the mat. If you need to bend your knees so that your hands can come down, go for that. And we're going to sweep up into three-legged dog. So see if you can press the ground away. Hug the right knee and then sweep right leg up. Look towards the left shin. As you exhale, flex into your right toes. Bend your right knee, open up your hip. Trying to look for that right foot over the left shoulder. Square the right shoulder off. Lovely. Re-extend right leg to the sky. Breathe in. Square your hips off. Flex your right toes. Breathe out. Right foot down by left. And the next breath in. Ripple forwards like a wave. High plank. As you exhale, charge through the forearms. Knees hover above the mat. Exhale. Inhale. Charge through the forearms again. Lift through the chest. Tuck the chin in. Downward dog. Hips lead the way. Big breath out. Taking another wave to come into high plank. This time on the in-breath, stay here. Shoulders on top of wrists. Yogi shows of chaturanga as you breathe out. Breathe into the back bend, chin up. And downward dog as you take your breath out. Full breath in. And full breath out. Gaze to the top. Lift high through your heels. Take a big inhale breath. Bend your knees. Options to step or again. Little jump forwards. Halfway lift. Exhale. Fold Uttanasana. Look down. Inhale. Uttanasana. Reach for the sky. Hands to heart as you take your breath out. Left foot roots. Right knee lifts. Coming through to that standing balance on the other side. Little flex in the toes. And as you exhale, heart forwards, right leg back. Hold your space. Options to breathe the hands down if it feels a little wobbly. Take another inhale. Get even longer through the body. Stretch out through the right toes. And as you exhale, right knee cat drops. Low lunge, arms up. Interlace if you can. Kali Mudra. Exhale, hips press forwards and through. Inhale, chin up, left hip back. Exhale, deeper into that forward sink. Inhale. As you exhale, hands come down. Lower back into half split. So fold over the left leg. Remember, when using blocks if needed, lunge back into the left knee, chest forwards, breathe in. And again, exhale, hips back, fold down. Inhale, chest forwards. And we'll go for one more on the exhale, fold. Take an inhale breath, lift up through your spine, pull your heart along your thigh. And then exhale, fold. Just 2 more breaths at the bottom. Nourishing your insides. On the in-breath, lift up through your chest, look forwards. On the out-breath, lunge back into your left knee. As you inhale, arms up. And this time, as you exhale, left hand down. As you inhale, higher through the right side of the body, reach through the right fingers. And as you exhale, sway over to the left. Maybe left fingers can hover or just float. Take another breath in, fill the right lungs, spread the right ribs, and then exhale, press your hips forwards. Take one more breath, and then use your exhale to pull your hips back, and we straighten through the left leg. So think about half split, but just kind of with a twist to the left side. Big toe up, different type of a stretch. You might feel it in the outside of the hip. Options to walk your hands out a little wider if you want more. And then options to turn this into a twist. So right hand down, left arm lifts. Breathe in, spread your arms. Breathe out, left hand down. Looking forwards to the front of our space, we'll re-lunge back into the left knee. Lift the chest as you breathe in. Fingertips towards the edges of the mat. Exhale, push off the right toes. Right leg goes skywards, coming into standing splits. Remember, not striving for perfection. Just going to where the body allows. Inhale, breath. And exhale, look forwards, flex the right toes. Lower the right hip in line with the left, and then take a big step back on the exhale into a lifted lunge. Walk your right hand in line with your left toes. Take it into a twist, look up to the left thumb. Lift the right hip in line with left, take a breath. And as you exhale, turn all 10 toes to the left, okay, on the outside of both the feet. If it's too much, wiggle the left foot along the mat. And then as you exhale, right hip sags, left arm goes back, stretching out the IT band. Inhale, lift up, wave it over. Exhale, right hip down. Inhale, left arm up. And exhale, stay here. On the breath in, left arm reaches, sweeps across the horizon. Pivot on the toes, bend into the right knee, Skandasana, sinking the hips down, lifting up through the chest. Lovely, hands on no hands, wide leg forwards, fold, big push, turn your toes in, hands to the mat or onto your shins, lift up through your spine, big breath, and exhale, fold again in the center of the legs. Maybe the hands interlace now, so squeeze the shoulders in, breathe in, head forward, knuckles overhead. And as you inhale, press into the feet, little bend in the knees, draw yourself up to stand, flip the toes out, draw your heels in, sink down into the hips, goddess pose. Draw the tail underneath to create a nice straight back and sink a little deeper, challenge the legs. Exhale, a little deeper. Exhale, one more breath. Inhale, press through the heels, squeeze the bum at the top. As you exhale, right toes are going to move in, left toes are going to move forward. Push off the ball of the back foot so the heel lifts. Options to step those toes in. Knuckles back, chest forwards, take a breath. And then as you exhale, coming down the way. So all the way to where it feels good for us. As you exhale, let go of your hands, fingers to the mat. Remember, you can bend your knee in order for the hands to come down. If you can, see if you can have a left foot, and we're going to sweep that up. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, bent knee, open hip. Look for the foot over the right shoulder. Square your left shoulder out. Wonderful. Re-extend, left leg up. Breathe in, point. Exhale, left foot down to the mat. Flex the toes. Inhale, ripple forwards, high plank. Exhale, let the hips settle. Modified up dog. Thighs engaged, protect the lower back. Chin up, breathe in. Chin in, downward dog, breathe out. Wonderful, full breath in. Roll forwards, high plank again. Stay in here, chaturanga, your choice how you want to come down. Exhale, breathe in, chin up. And down dog, breathe out. One big breath through the nose, one big breath out the mouth. On the next breath in, stretch your right leg to the sky. And then from here, we'll bend the right knee and then open up the hip. And then we'll take 3 big circles for 1, for 2, and for 3. Other direction for 1, for 2, and for 3. Keep your right knee and right hip open. Lift high up on the ball of the left foot. Look forwards, big shift. Right knee, right shoulder, right foot wide of the hand. lower the left kneecap down. Okay, untuck the back toes. So just coming into lizard, and at first we just want to get a bit buoyant, a bit bouncy with the hips. Maybe a little bobbing action back and forth, maybe a little bit side to side. You can even curl your back toes and have your kneecap lifted as you do this. You might feel a little bit more freedom as you move. And then from wide leg lizard, lift the chest. And as you exhale, we're going to pull our hips back and then just take that into a wide leg Adho Hanumanasana. Lift up through the chest. Options on the exhale to reach your fingers forward as you drive your heel down and pull your hips back. So we're inside of that leg. Make sure the toes are pointing up. They're not knocking out too much. And inhale, lift the chest, rebend back into your right knee. Options to stay right here. We're going to stay for about 5 breaths just to go a little deeper. If you would like to come onto blocks or forearms, lower down. I like to close down my eyes, especially in these deeper holds. And now imagine you've got a weight on your left hip. So really start to ground down with that weight as the energy starts to come down the way closer to the mat. We're working with gravity rather than against it. And inhale, press into your hands, lift up through your chest, curl your left toes, lift your hip, take a step into plank. Down dog, brother. Exhale. From downward dog, left leg to the sky, bend the knee, open the hip, flex the toes, breathe in. 3 big circles for 1, 2, and 3. Other direction for 1, 2, and 3. Keep that left knee nice and open, the hip open. Look forward, shift forwards, knee towards shoulder, foot wide of the hand. You can let your right knee drop. Okay, so lift the chest, look forwards in that nice wide leg lizard. You can find a bit of movement again on this side, so maybe bobbing back and forth or side to side. You can even curl the toes as you do this, just for a bit of lubrication in the hips. And then let your right kneecap drop, lift your chest up. And as you exhale, pull your hips back. Okay, reach your fingers forward, lift the heart. And then maybe creep the fingers a little bit further forwards as you breathe out. So just a different type of a stretch than the traditional half split. You might feel this in your inner thigh a little bit more, as well as the back of the hamstring. But it's that same action of really trying to imagine you want to dent the mat with that left heel. Okay, lift the heart, look forwards, rebend, lift the chest, and then maybe dropping down onto forearms or again onto blocks for lizard. 5 deep breaths. So as we get into some of these slightly deeper hip openers, you might notice that emotions and feelings begin to bubble to the surface. And I want to remind you that that is okay. That is all part of the process. That is why we come to practice, not just to stretch, of course, that's great, not just to get stronger, again, wonderful. It's to feel, it's to connect, it's to deeper understand ourselves. So cherish these next few moments with yourself. And inhale, lift up. I'm just going to step into a tabletop, and then we're just going to give our hips a little swing side to side. Roll the weight to the outside of the hip. And lower back into Vajrasana, so kneeling position. From kneeling position, bring your knees into touch. If this is uncomfortable to sit on the shins like this, then you can always pop a block underneath the thighs or just come into seated pose if that's better for you. Bring your right hand really close behind your right foot and bring your left hand onto your right knee or thigh. Lift up through the chest, and as you exhale, peel your gaze past your right shoulder. Breathe in again to lengthen. And breathe out again to twist. Inhale and exhale. Wonderful. We'll take that on the other side. Switch through, other hand, other knee or thigh, lift up and pull back. Inhale and exhale. Final breath and exhale. Okay, looking forwards. Take a full breath through the nose and a massive cleanse out the mouth. Thank you so much for joining me in this class. Hopefully you're feeling good, all stretched out. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through. So if you like what you see, there's plenty more videos and I'll pop them somewhere on this screen. Namaste.